I hope you all enjoy this video from Terry, and don't forget to click on the pinned link at the top if you want to see something cool. Alright, well, peace out.
Joseph Parker, Joseph, that was brutal. Just talk to me about what you just seen there.
Listen, I thought the bar started off quite well, but Usyk again broke him down systematically, picked his shots, countered him, and at the end got the job done in an incredible fashion.
Well, honestly, what did you expect to happen tonight? Is that what you expected?
I thought he was stopped in the later round, obviously with mid-round. It was just an action-packed fight from the beginning, and I loved it. I loved watching it.
I mean, it was very one-sided in the end, wasn't it, Joe?
In the end it was one-sided, but at the beginning it was...
Well, nobody wants to see Joseph Parker fight. Why not?
Yeah,
you don't sell shit. You don't sell shit. You don't sell shit. Bro, hold on, go on.
First fight was okay. The second fight was better.
No. First fight, you won. I won anyway, they gave it to you. The second fight, I had Corona 4 weeks before that. So I'm okay. I don't mind. I'll give you the victory.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Why you gonna sell shit? Okay, I didn't joke. No, I didn't expect that. I mean, Derek said you and Usyk won self.
Derek's been watching him many times.
You are the Manderson, you're up next, so go, will you beat Alexander Usyk?
I will. I back myself to beat anyone. I know Usyk is a master at what he does, but I want to back myself, train hard and put in the work. Let's go.
Thank you. Usyk versus the boss of Netflix 995. Open up the zone right now in the zone.com/boxing.
Forget all the intro stuff, listen. Forget all of that. Park it. I've been on the pints today from the oh man. This is what I'm talking about. From the Lions all the way through till now, I've just been sinking pints, Clapham Junction, West, oh man. And so on my walk back here, I got to see as much of that Usyk fight as I could have done. And we do not have the coaches in the United Kingdom in 2025 to beat Alexander Usyk. Not one of them. Do not name anyone. I don't want to hear a fucking name. I don't want to hear anybody talk about their favorite trainer with this guy that was good in the media. Not no clown like Caldwell. Not no nobody. I don't want to hear a damn name. We do not have trainers that are good enough to beat Alexander Usyk. And we have better raw materials than the Ukrainians have. So how are we in this position right now where Daniel got beaten up? Second time he got beaten up. The second time. And I'm just going to talk from the heart now. When you really break it down and you look and you go, Usyk's beaten Joshua twice, Fury twice, Dubois twice. They're not guys that are in the all-time list for me. They've never been in the all-time list for me. And I've fought people who have talked about them. There's been a lot of glazing, hasn't there? A lot of penile glazing, a lot of dick eating. Oh, Fury power! Oh, Anthony Joshua did this, did that. Dubois. They are not good enough. Their raw materials are good enough. They aren't good enough. Not Andy Lee, not Rob McCracken, not Ben Davison, not Don Charles, and I love Don. They are not good enough to beat Alexander Usyk. And it's not an intelligence problem. It's a conceit and arrogance problem. So I'm just sat here. All I've got is a bag of Haribo and a pint worth of Dr. Pepper. Because I'm not going to sleep otherwise. Make of it what you will. For me, Usyk has fought enough British guys that we should have known what the blueprint was to beat him. We should have all had a meeting together and said, how are we going to beat Usyk? Now, if all of these supposed name brand trainers, these supposed boxing geniuses, these brain boxers, these smart people that you worship, you, not me, you worship, you put on a pedestal. Go to Adam Booth. You worship these guys. I see it all the time in the tweets. These are gods to you. Andy Lee is this. All of these guys are gods to you. And none of them are capable of beating Alexander Usyk. Explain that to me. Please. Because I saw a man get beat up tonight. Beat up. You know, I've got a friend called Delroy, right? And I remember he used an expression and he goes, there is no version of that could ever beat me. If he ever thought he could go and lift weights in the gym, he could do this, he could do that, I would still mess him up. And that's how I view where we are right now. Usyk is like, there's no British fighter you could ever give me that will give me trouble. You're not built for it. You're not built for what I'm capable of. You're not built for what I've been through. You're all soft. And when the going gets tough, you'll go missing. And I won't. That's Usyk in a nutshell. That is Usyk. And I'm so frustrated because we are the United Kingdom and we have so many heavyweights floating around, and you realize at this point here that they are all 4 out of 10 heavyweights. And I'm talking about guys that even I have trained, and they are not good enough to be world champions. They will never be good enough to be world champions. And we still pat them on the fucking back. Where are all the people that were patting the back of what's his name? Kieran Farrell. Oh, it was all Kieran Farrell that beat Joshua. Where are they now? I want to see these guys come front and center. So where's Daryl? And where are the rest of the Kieran Farrell fan brigade that were there when Joshua got beat? Where is he? Where's Daryl? Oh, Kieran's my mate. I've seen him do loads of stuff in the gym and for the community. I remember all of this when Dubois was knocking out Joshua. I hope they're just as visible now. Because what I saw, and I've only had a little bit of time to really take it in, that was an ass kicking. It was an ass kicking where I don't believe Usyk earned any of those punches. He threw whatever he wanted whenever he wanted. That's the second fight. That's not even the first fight where you could, first night nerves, undisputed nerves. You couldn't. Motherfucker did what he wanted in that ring against the best British heavyweight. I believe Daniel Dubois beats Tyson Fury. He's already beaten Anthony Joshua. There's no Brit that beats Daniel Dubois, not even Moses Atalma right now. And he looked poor. People need to put that mirror up. Don's got to now do the media rounds. And like I said, I love and I respect Don Charles, but I've got to be true to the sport of boxing. Don's now got to do the media rounds he did when when Dubois beat Joshua. He's got to do the same media rounds and take these questions. Where was Daniel Dubois' footwork? Where was Daniel Dubois trying to dominate the position on the left-hand side that Usyk was always going to occupy? Where was Daniel Dubois then doing that and realizing Usyk had to come the long way around with his left hand and just keeping his right hand high? Or knowing to roll out the way and counter with his own. This is really basic stuff, by the way. Like, you can walk into any amateur gym, go to Pinewood Star, go to Rumbles. This stuff is being taught to really basic kids, 11-year-olds, 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds. Where was that? Because Daniel Dubois did not do that. Daniel Dubois, as a technician, as a boxing technician, has got progressively worse every time I have seen him. When he was a young kid, I don't think Usyk would have been a problem to him because he had the work rate. And from what I have seen, there was no work rate from Daniel Dubois. There was no footwork. There was no tactical discipline to say, if I can keep Usyk in certain places, I can get my body shots off. There was none of that. And Usyk just said, well, if Dubois ain't going to show me nothing special, I'm just going to beat him up. Imagine that. 38-year-old man. And I am telling you now, a 38-year-old man is not built for that. And it happened because we do not have the trainers in the United Kingdom that are good enough. Not that clown Billy Nelson, not nobody. is at a level where we can have elite level performances. What Usyk delivered tonight is an elite level performance. He came in with the bare amount of energy, got the job done. So I look at all of that and I go, I was right when I said Joshua wasn't far away from knocking Daniel Dubois out. It was literally Dubois throwing his left hand in the air and catching shots on his shoulder that stopped him getting knocked out by Joshua. If I'm Anthony Joshua right now, I'm watching that going, give me that rematch. Give me that rematch. I want it now. This isn't a killer. This isn't Godzilla. This is easy work for me. If I'm Anthony Joshua, that's where my head is at. And I imagine Eddie Hearn will be making noises now. I don't know what's being said in the post-fight presses. Eddie Hearn will be talking now in terms of why don't we have Daniel Dubois versus Anthony Joshua? End of the year. Do it at Wembley or Tottenham. I don't care. Because Daniel had the chance to nail this. Don Charles had the chance at immortality. And they screwed up because there was no tactical insight, nous, discipline, whatever you want to call it. There wasn't that thing that great trainers deliver in crucial moments. It was really simple for me. I'm going to be real. If you follow my Q&A, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. I saw the young kid Ellis Trowbridge last night. Shouts out to Ellis Trowbridge. One of my favorite young boxers in the United Kingdom right now. Get behind him. He's such a special young man. Got a lot of love for him. We were talking about how you beat Usyk. And I said, in the beginning, Usyk's going to force the pace with that little boom, do-doom, 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 doom, 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 doom. That scares people. And I said, if you can stay calm through all of that and just focus on hitting the torso, you'll be good. But you also have to focus on what we call the left side triangle. Step left, step back, step right, step left. If you think about that visually, that's a triangle. That's what Usyk does to his opponents. You do it to him, force him to box where he's uncomfortable. Dubois looked like he had never seen Usyk before. How? 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 How can you look like you've never seen him before? You looked less clued up in the second fight than the first fight. How does this happen? What was happening in camp? Oh, we saw all the camera people. Oh, we're going to go see Dubois in camp. Oh, he's putting people down in sparring. That meant nothing. Imagine you got put down in sparring by Dubois and he got put down. Now you're like, oh, am I any good? Then maybe I should retire. So, let's go back to it. Everybody that came out post Joshua banging the drum needs to come out now and say what went on. Real talk. Because I'm there going, that performance was garbage. It was garbage. And if I sat down with Don and we had food and I told her, I said, Don, that wasn't good enough. What were the tactics? What was the plan? You can't tell me now I don't know enough about boxing. That was your gambit a few years ago. That was the shot you fired a few years ago. It was wrong then and it's wrong now. Whatever people want to say, I am one of the 5 best trainers in the United Kingdom right now. Maybe not one of the best trainers, one of the best boxing brains in this country. I think I am. Yeah? Because I've sat behind some of the best fighters you guys hero worship and made them better. It doesn't get credit because it's not cool to credit someone like me, but I've done it. And it's very, very simple. You fought somebody once, and all you had to do the second time around was go, right, what did he do well the first time? Let's stop him doing that. Let's start there. And if he finds a plan B over that, then he is special and he is elite. Imagine getting stopped by the same stuff that stopped you in the first fight. You got dropped by a right jab. Oh, man. Let me take a sip real quick. You got dropped by a right jab. Like, Usyk's there doing bag work routines. He's having fun in that ring. And then once he had you dropped, he was like, you ain't going to recover from that. And he handled business. How were you in that position? Where were your hands? Where was your defense? Where was your footwork? We're talking undisputed, heavyweight, multi-million pound fight, top of the top tier. If I'm Turkey, I'm like, you're telling me this is... If I'm Turkey, I pivot away from the UK. We do not have good enough fighters for what he's trying to do. Okay? We don't. What we've been really good at is paying up people like Charlie Parsons and Kugan Cassius and Radio Raheem, and it used to be Michelle Joy Phelps. She's not around anymore. She's doing a law degree, so let's really tip our hat off to her. All of these people, and now they're trying to weep in these clowns like October Red, and all these kind of numpties are there just banging this drum and telling the world that what we have in this country is special. And every time we get to that top level, we realize what we have in this country is not special. Listen to that. That might be Usyk's team just saying, Daddy, come out and be accountable. So that's all I'm going to say on this, right? Nothing we have in this country from a training perspective would have been good enough to beat Usyk. Let that sink in. Therefore, what are we doing? Why are we sending really good raw genetic specimens to clowns? Not clowns, that's the wrong way of putting it. People that aren't good enough. East London, North London, West London, South London, none of them are good enough. Leeds, Rotherham, Manchester, Liverpool, none of them are good enough. The wilds of Scotland, like, I don't know, Falkirk, Edinburgh, none of them are good enough. We do not have trainers good enough in this country to deliver elite performances that will challenge Usyk. And this is for you as boxing fans. Start calling these trainers clowns. I want to see this on Twitter. Start dragging these motherfuckers when they let you down. Because that's the only way we're going to get them out the sport. They can't keep just showing up every time because Adam Smith says, the venerable... I am tired of it. Bin them off. Let the new breed come. They can't do any worse than these guys have done before. Now, let's talk rationally about Alexander Usyk. The man is 38 years old. We saw Muhammad Ali at 38 years old. And I know there's stuff to be said about nutrition, training, PEDs, yada, 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 yada. But for what Usyk is doing at 38, tip of the hat to him. It's special. For him to be the best heavyweight on the planet today at 38 years old and 101 kilos, whatever it is he was, is mind-blowing. For him to have stuck to a very basic formula of high work rate, drifting off to the left and finding homes for that right hand, which does all the damage, and the left hook finishes it off, and for no one to have found an answer to that, pedestal. In this era, Alexander Usyk is the best heavyweight. He is better than Vladimir Klitschko. He is maybe just a bit outside of Vitali's era, so it's not fair to compare them. He's better than everyone else that came since. He's better than Tyson Fury. He's better than Anthony Joshua. He's better than anybody of his generation. He shouldn't be, but he is, and that's the miracle of this, and that's the beauty of it. We need to salute him. I don't know if we can give this man a knighthood, but we should. He's done stuff that beggars belief. He handled Anthony Joshua comfortably. Even when Joshua tried to blast him out of there, he handled him comfortably. And in the first fight, Joshua was lucky to survive. In the second fight, Joshua was just happy to survive. He then fought Tyson Fury. In the first fight, round 6, we remember that body shot? That was the point where Usyk nearly went out of there. Round 9, he dropped him. Comfortable decision win. Second fight, Usyk was comfortable. Fury was gun shy. He was scared of getting dropped again. And then we look at the Dubois situation. Dropped him with a jab in round 8 in the first fight. Handled it within 5 on this one. Our guys aren't very good. but Usyk is the best of all of them. We can talk about Wilder, we can talk about other people. I don't know what would happen in those situations. I imagine much of what we've seen so far would have happened in those situations too. But maybe America is where we need to put the heavyweights, because we do not have trainers capable here. Now, the real question is, where do you put Usyk historically? I don't believe Usyk is the man he is today. In the 80s, I think guys like Mike Weaver are perfectly set up to fight him. I think in the 90s, guys like Chris Bird, etc., would be perfectly set up to fight him. I think guys like Ibeabuchi would have caused him havoc. I think Lennox is too much for him. I think Mike Tyson, at his best, would have done a lot of damage to Alexander Usyk. But I believe he would have been competitive in all those eras. The only era he might not have been competitive in is the 70s, and that's because we had superior boxing IQs, tough men that were just like Usyk, but who were so well trained and so well drilled that they would have been comfortable against southpaws. So no, Usyk doesn't hang in the 70s. Maybe he doesn't hang in the 60s either with guys like Cleveland Williams. But he hangs in the 80s. And he's a factor in the 90s. And I think he holds belts in the 2000s, and he definitely rules in the 2010s, easily ruling in the 2020s. Does that make Alexander Usyk one of the all-time greats? It does if we can remove somebody. We're not going to remove Ali, and we're not going to remove Foreman. We're not going to remove Frazier. And I think it's hard to remove Larry Holmes. After that, the next heavyweight slot in the all-time great list belongs to Alexander Usyk. Not Mike Tyson. I know. No, I'm sorry, guys. Not Mike Tyson. Alexander Usyk. Because I think he would have hung with anybody else. I think in those other situations, it would have been hard for him. So Usyk is so far ahead of what we're producing in the heavyweight division right now that it's not even worth a debate. Number one. Number two, we now need to ask ourselves as boxing fans, why have we trusted the future of the sport to people who aren't designed to deliver that future? If you listen to me often enough, you know what I'm going to say now is true. We haven't invested enough time in coaches sitting down with other coaches to solve problems. Maybe if we had done, we would have come up with a collective solution to beating Alexander Usyk, or we could have tested out ideas. We didn't do any of that. So, what's the next step forward? We're not going to overcome the insecurity of British boxing trainers. We're not going to overcome the insularity of British boxing trainers. So the future is, we're going to keep having mediocre performances and mediocre fighters, and we're going to keep being embarrassed by the heavyweights. And it's not just heavyweights, it's everybody else that we put on that list. We're going to keep being embarrassed. It's as simple as that. So I'm always going to take my hat off to Alexander Usyk. I think you put him in the top 10 heavyweights. I can't tell you where he sits outside of Ali, Foreman, Joe Frazier, Lennox Lewis, Larry Holmes. He's probably like a 6th or 7th right now. But based on what I've seen, you kick Fury out, you kick Joshua out. They're just not where they need to be. This is quite possibly the worst era of heavyweights we have seen. This is the worst era of boxing trainers we have ever seen. And until we move some of these people out, until we start being honest and going, we can't keep applauding guys because they do pad work routines on Instagram and Facebook, and you fanboys know who you are. Until we stop doing this, we're not going to get better trainers. Until we start saying these guys are clowns, put the clown emoji alongside every one of them. And let's go from there. We're not going to inspire guys to be better or kick the clowns out of the sport. But once again, let me take my hat off to Alexander Usyk. He did what he was supposed to do. I just feel the British boxing fans have been conned. Time and time again, we get the usual media outlets, the donkeys, the camera jockeys, the numpties, the clowns, the people you wouldn't sit next to in a pub and all this sort of stuff and all these chances and people that weren't good at other sports and came into boxing thinking they could be good. All of this stuff happens. And we get told that, yeah, Dubois really stands a chance. Daniel Dubois could really do something. Even these kind of headbangers like Adam Smith, Darren Barker with his, like he's got, I don't know, like a mouthful of Smarties in his mouth. All this sort of nonsense. Oh, I think they could do really well. It's a 50-50 fight. Yeah. Oh, I saw him in the gym. He was knocking out Hulk Hogan. Now he had the Incredible Hulk, punched him out the ring, sent him into orbit. As Porky would say. MI5 watching him from the moon. All this sort of nonsense we hear in the media. The reality is, take the British pound for pound top 100 from number 1 to number 100, they are not good enough. Their trainers are not good enough. They are not good enough. And when they find the people who are good enough, they are going to get hurt badly. Make peace with that, because that is British boxing for the next few years. If Turki Alal Sheikh listens to one podcast I ever do, it should be this one. And he should be saying, why are British boxers terrible? Why am I not in America finding young, hungry guys that will take heads off for fun? Because we don't have them. We just have a really good media engine. And on that note, I want to finish my Dr. Pepper. I'm going to finish my Haribo. I'm going to go to bed. And tomorrow I'm not going to care about any of this. Because I've been saying this for a long time. We're being conned. We're being conned by boxing so we can give up our money. Cancel your DAZN membership. Stop buying tickets for fights. Stop buying pay-per-views. Stop engaging with the sport when we know that our guys are not good enough. If you do, and you choose to do it willingly, I don't want to hear you complain that they ain't good enough, because we've been warning you for a long time. Thank you. Good day. Salute. God bless boxing, and God forgive what we witnessed this evening.